What's up, everybody? Brett here, and we're back today playing some more of our Dirty Peasants Battle Brothers playthrough. We're on day 24. It's dawn, and we're hunting down whatever terrorizes Thal, our home city. And it's direwolves. Ooh, and there are orcs up here too. I bet we could pull them all in together. Yes! Awesome. So I think had we not done this, there was pretty low chance we'd be able to get in on this orc fight. But now, we can let these dudes tank for us. We can kill plenty of birds with one stone, which is probably my favorite saying of all time. Yeah, this is going to be sweet, guys. I wonder if the direwolves will fight the orcs. I feel like they will. This could be really interesting. All the time I'm always saying, yeah, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. My wife is always like, why do you always have to kill so many birds? But that is the life of a strategy game player. Always thinking about how to get that next level value out of everything. Can't help it. So of course, guys, we need to get into this fight fast because I think these 10 dudes can probably kill this whole group. They might lose a lot of men to the sheer DPS output of orcs and direwolves, which are a pretty nasty combo if they work together. But we got to get in there, or else we're not going to be able to get any of the experience or the spoils of war. Orc weapons are off limits for those of you who are, newer to the game, perhaps. Orc weapons are heavy and cumbersome. Something I wish they should kind of alter a little bit. They do a ton of damage, but ultimately you can't use them. You'd have to have a brother with some ridiculous fatigue recovery, which we kind of do. We got standard bearer up there. We can at least see some of the fight now. So 2 down. But if we were in really bad shape, this would be a great way to try and just get some experience without having to do anything. Like, we could not kill, well, not experience, but gold, rather. We could not kill a single enemy here, and we'd still be accomplishing our mission. Of course, we do want to get some kills, so let's get our butts in there. And as cohesive of a formation as the game allows. Still no sight yet of orcs. I would like to get some of these pelts. Might not even sell them because I would love to get some early game attachments. And the wolf pelts are some of my favorites. Everyone's probably moved to their maximum already, so let's just spacebar our way through this. So the higher difficulties that you play as, the more often you'll employ strategies like pulling enemies into groups. And staying near the roads is the best way to do that. When you go off-road and you go into the wilderness, there's not really going to be anything to pull anyone into. Oh, look at this look at this guy. Oh, I want your crossbow, sir. Stealing that kill felt pretty good. It's just going to give us some strange meat, which we can eat. It's not totally useless. Not totally. And here are the orcs. Okay. Slow and steady, guys. See that pole hammer? Oh, man. I would be very curious to go back into my last Let's Play as barbarians and see at what point we had this type of equipment, because it was so fast. It might have been around like day 30 and we were already wearing like just complete gear just like this. I could see some value in just about every run and picking out one particular house that you just you don't think you're going to spend a lot of time raiding their territory for whatever reason, or not raiding their territory, but questing in their territory. Maybe they're a small house and they just don't have a lot of cities with anything unique in them, or maybe they are so like geographically isolated that there's really no reason to go to their part of the world. And picking them out and choosing them to raid, you know, just to kind of like get this type of early game gear and attacking the smaller supply caravans that go up and down the roads. Because we were able to accelerate our campaign so much. Like imagine if by like 5 more days, almost our entire crew was wearing, you know, mail hauberks with kettle hats, using tier 2 weapons and kite shields. I mean that's an amazing advantage, and also the occasional, you know, heavy crossbow. Man, what a great shot! And the orcs have been slaughtering the direwolves, I guess. That's pretty cool. But look how confident they are from that. It looks like maybe the direwolves split into 2 groups, one of which went up to fight the orcs, and the other one perhaps came down here to fight the company. I'll take this kill if I can get it. The game hates me, guys. Yep, I'm cursed. No, but let's get rid of this orc before he does some serious damage. Wow, we hit him in the head. With my luck, they're going to take both of these kills. Yeah. Let's get in there with Ulver. Alright. So we get the orc sword. It's worth something, which is nice. But it's not a usable weapon. Especially not at this point in the game. And Lyria is not someone we want frontlining this fight. Don't mind going around with Sigurd and Magnus here. They're in great health. And well supported. Alright, that billhook doing work. We just want them to soften them up just enough that way we can step in and get the last hit. That's all I care about. Definitely should have gone around the outside if we could have. Happy to see them stepping in. Need a little more damage on some of these dudes. Move up. Can we move up any more? No. Sure. I probably missed a trick somewhere in here. It's alright. Just don't shoot me in the back, guys. You always want to be careful with enemy or even friendly allied ranged fire, because they will shoot you in the back. They care about as much about your guys as they do theirs. That is to say, not very much. Which is kind of fair, because I guess I would shoot them in the back if I had to. Okay, not sad to see the pole hammer jump in. Sad to see them get that kill, because we're kind of inching towards this area here. Big hit. But can we finish? I don't think so. If one of these guys die, we can step up with Ulver. Otherwise, we gotta hang back. Yeah, we're shooting after the dude that has the shield wall active. Not great. They're just all in the way. They're going to end up getting most of these kills, I feel. It's Werner. Werner's in good enough health to step in. And that gives us a quadruple surround. Damn. We're going to end up having gotten almost none of these kills, and that's what sucks. Yeah, 2 left, and we're not going to get them. I mean, we tried. We might be able to get this guy, but it's like, for what? You know, it's just another one of those swords we can't use. They do use some human weapons sometimes. Some of these maces, like not the Morning Star, but we have maces that they do use. And there we just get the junky shield. Can we get in there? We can. So we've got the primary surround. Yeah, they use the Morning Star. Like, this kill is ours to get, but they will be able to put multiple people on it. I'm just hoping they don't try and shoot in with the Arbalest. Perfect. Alright, cool. So we got a few kills. 1, 2, 3, I think. Yeah. Over got 2 of them. And I'm happy to get the experience. These are the choppers, the head choppers. I always want to say them like it's in Warhammer Fantasy. But the big problem is they build up 5 more fatigue. That's the big negative. They hit hard as hell, though. You could potentially have a brother with, like, fatigue recovery. So let's be done with this. We've crowns to collect. Your employer, Bertram of Thal, might not believe what happened here without evidence. You order the men to begin taking pelts, trophies, scalps, whatever might show off your victory here. Okay. So, like, don't we have someone with some serious, like, fatigue recovery? It's not hate, of course. So, athletic is great. That would be one of the ones you'd be looking for. Anything that helps you diminish fatigue. Perk-wise, you would have to take recover if you were going to make a brother that, you know, use that type of equipment. But anyway, let's go ahead and level up. Happy to see that we've earned some levels. We've got a great hybrid character here in Halston. So let's give him quick hands. Take a 3 roll there. A 4 roll there. And that'll probably be his last. Because of his high initiative, HP, and fatigue, he could end up being a pretty great hybrid character that's also a nimble bro. So wearing light armor could end up being Halston's thing. And to that end, you want to have a lot of hit points, you want to have a lot of fatigue, and you want to have a lot of initiative, which he has in spades. But he would be a crossbow, polearm type bro. Here, 100% going to take student. This is another brother who we would like to become probably a hybrid character. Man, look at these pitiful rolls, though. We'll take a 4 in resolve. A 4 in hit points, so we don't have to do it later. And let's take a 2 here in ranged. It's okay. This is another one that's he's basically just a weaker version of Halston. In time, he'll get there. And then Lyria here, also great. We don't have any throwing weapons to give her yet, so let's just give her Brawny. Can't pass a 3 there. Don't want to pass a 4 here either. And this 3 is looking pretty tempting. The 4 is also, just for whenever we do get throwing weapons. I think I'll take that. That 3 is definitely, in melee defense, was probably more prudent. That's okay. As long as you know what you're doing, you're allowed to make mistakes. And now we have some thralls coming out of the woods. Is anyone really hurt? Lyria's armor's damaged. Let's do something like this. I mean, what's the point of having all these extra men if we can't, you know, tuck some people out of the way, out of harm's way from time to time? Taking this fight would be great. I don't want their help. Oh, no. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. There we go. That was a neat little trick. They take like a second to get going. And it puts us on a wonky hill. Ugh. Pretty unhappy with this. At least we're mostly on top of the hill. We have some okay chances to hit. Shoot at him instead. You know, we should have switched weapons and stepped in on him. Gotta remember that Lyria is a bit hurt down there. These dogs gotta go. Have to close the distance so that they can't use these throwing weapons on us, which is the biggest threat. All high ground. Let's not try and get cute and jump around too much. It's a pretty straightforward fight. No real need to switch there, but I just wanted to do it so I remember for next turn. Kind of jamming out to the music right now. I was listening to some Mongolian metal the other day. There's pretty much a metal version of everything now, I'm aware of. But it was really cool sounding. It was like a lot of guttural chanting and stuff. I'm not a big metal fan, but I do love like indigenous music. Just unique stuff. And the fact that they took it and, you know, mixed it with metal is kind of cool. I will say the music video that I watched was super cringy. And they also talk about Genghis Khan a lot, which I get it. He was a badass, but he can't be in every song. Come on, only 2 thralls left. This has ended up being kind of a cool little lucrative beginning to an episode. Those orc weapons at the very least are going to be pretty valuable. Thrall should be happy to have those. We've picked up several levels. So while we're sitting here doing this, I just wanted to talk for a second about something I was thinking about. Other people mentioned in the comment section that they were having some difficulties with this start. And it kind of reminded me that this is considered an easy start. And one of the points I was thinking to myself, you know, trying to make is that if your idea of this game is that all you need to do to survive is lose people and, you know, achieve certain goals, then this game with this particular start as the peasants, I could see it being, you know, considered easy for that. But as video gamers, you know, especially those of us who are a little bit older, like for myself, I just turned 30, you know, so I've been playing games for a long time. You're kind of conditioned not to lose people, right? You're sort of conditioned to, even in a roguelike game, after playing, you know, games my whole life with the ability to save and reload and things like that, like I'm even conditioned at this point that losing even a single character, I could like easily consider that a failure of any particular fight. So when you're trying to get out of that mindset of losing even a single man is a failure, it can be difficult. This is one of the more difficult starts for like a traditional game. And imagine you've never played Battle Brothers before, and you're coming into this game and you think, oh no, like I just lost 3 of my guys in my first fight. Like I must have done something horribly wrong. And you probably did something wrong, but that comes more from, a lack of experience as opposed to, the game being flawed. If you go to Steam and you read a bunch of reviews for this game, it is one of the saltiest places ever. Man, we should probably repair this. It's worth so much more if you do. I don't need any of this stuff. I'm going to sell it all. Man, we're eating a lot of bad meat. Let's buy some more grains. Put ourselves up to 4 days. We bought some ammo. Let's buy some tools since they're so cheap. Let's just sell it, whatever. But yeah, just trying to say, I was trying to think about it from like outside the box, so to speak. As a newer player coming in, you see that this is the easy start. I think it's the only start in this game that's designated as easy. And I don't know if it is. Like there's a lot to be understood about managing a larger company like this and keeping them active. Would I say it's like necessarily a hard start? No. Because like I said, if your definition of an easy start is that you basically can't, you're trying to define how you almost can't lose in the early game, then I could definitely see that. You can't, it'd be very difficult to go down to 0 from this particular start. They want a good bit for this stuff. The prices here are okay, but they're not amazing. I would be more interested in buying the basic male shirt, considering where our gold is. There's nothing here. Just wanted to make sure that while I was talking, I didn't, gloss over anything. But we don't have any contracts right now, so that makes me a little hesitant to spend 500 on a male shirt. But that's kind of like the tier we're trying to get to right now, and that would allow us to shuffle around. We're still wearing some rugged surcoats back here, or surcoats. We're going to purchase that. And we will give it to... I thought we had someone still wearing a gambeson. Yeah, Wolfram is. And we'll shuffle it all around, just like this. Alright, we got to go find a contract or else we're going to starve. That's not true. We're not going to starve. But now we're up to a decent amount of ammo. Good number of tools. And we're going to go up to our old standby place in Bramingstead. What I would recommend for this playthrough, and this is just my anecdotal experience after having done it once, is don't be scared to lose a few people in the first couple battles. But that being said, you want to identify early on which characters you have that are the best. That are characters that you would want to keep for an entire playthrough if you could. And protect them. Protect them as best you can. We're going to buy that because it's cheap. And we still have brothers not wearing good gear. Can sell those. Definitely want to keep some stuff in reserve. A hunting bow here would be nice. We could even buy one more padded leather. But at this point I think we're trying to get out of padded leather and into basic mail. See what their hires are. And I think from here you can go one of two ways. One way I think is easier for more experienced players to identify and to do, and the other I think is it will be more natural to a newer player, and that is to, man, I would love to get a leveled up militiaman. Damn. The other way is to, okay, so let me, I'm like scatterbrained here. I'm trying to play and do this at the same time. I think that the more difficult way is to call the herd really early. To identify maybe like your 6 strongest bros and get rid of the rest. That allows you to more evenly distribute larger amounts of experience and to more heavily favor brothers with better gear, right? That is, I think, the harder of the starts. We'll just see what he wants. We'll accept it, but we'll tell him we need some time to think about it. Man, they're both traveling. Well, this isn't what we want. Where's Lyre? So they want us to go all the way over here. We could do that because we know there's nothing in Thal for us. Let's go ahead and accept this contract. We're good to go. Let's roll out. And we'll take any fights we find along the way. But like I said, one is more natural, and one it comes from really understanding Battle Brothers and the mechanics. So I think the one that, if you're a newer player, you're probably going to pick the start that tells you it's easy. So then you're naturally going to come into this game, you're going to get into your first couple fights, and you're going to die. You're going to lose people, and you're going to think you're doing the game wrong. And I don't know. That feels a little like off-putting to me. And I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but like if you read the Steam reviews and stuff, a lot of them that are negative, almost all the negative ones, are basically from people who I think just genuinely didn't understand the game, or who didn't give it enough of a chance after having a bad start. Which I can totally understand. I can see it. I can just see it happening, you know? Man, this goose would open up. If we sold this thing, we could like even pop all of these leather lamellars if we wanted. But I would probably ignore that and just start buying. Only mail at this point. Just keep rolling. This is a little bit of a detour. I wanted to see what kind of, if they had any quests available, and they do. So we were really counting on taking a fight along the way. I didn't see anyone though. Could have gone a little bit off the beaten path, but we could have also just ended up wasting a bunch of time from doing that. They basically paid us to relocate, which is something we wanted to do anyway. This might not be bad. It's a cool way to get us. I think they wanted us to go to Alsliv, which is somewhere we could definitely go. Let's see what these other contracts are, though. Thieves. Follow the tracks, return a rare coin collection. This is more of what we want to do because brigands and raiders will have wearable gear for us. And I don't mind. We're in a bit of rush shape in terms of our gear being messed up. Oh, this is bad though. That's a pretty big group. And the game is giving us, you know, these larger numbers to fight, mostly because it's on veteran, but also because I think it identifies how many brothers you have in your party and what your levels are. And it tries to kind of amp up difficulty according to that. We are not really in that kind of a condition. Our gear is not so good that we can easily take on 15 of these guys. Brigands, just as your employer had thought. They look scared, presumably understanding that Reinhardt, the Burgermeister's well-paid wrath, is about to descend upon them. So, I mean, we're evenly matched here. They have their own marksmen. They have crossbows as well, or at least one. These are generally where you get your first crossbows, unless you buy them. If we could run through these thugs, we have a really good chance of coming out of this fight unscathed. I don't know how well we're going to do at locking down their particular, you know, crossbowmen. But our entire back line right now is they're such crummy archers and ranged characters that they almost all should be crossbowmen. As opposed to archers, which does require more skill. Kill here would be great. We just need to thin the numbers out. Yes, one shot. That's what I'm talking about. Very good. Step in here. Go for that kill because this dude's already beat to death. So the trick usually is to do well on your opening turn against thugs that have marksmen, but not too well because you don't want them, you don't want to spook the back line. You want to give yourself your best chance of getting these weapons. Hopefully the crossbowman steps up here. I'm not stepping into this. That's a triple surround with some hatchets. That's a good way to get killed with Lyria. And they don't really have any good shots on us. I don't see any. Okay. I mean, that was an okay shot, but after moving, you can only take one shot. And I don't think, because of the way we pumped our HP, no one shot is going to kill us. And a stun there is rough from a wooden stick. Our two-handers are our greatest weapons here. As much as I want to hyper-focus the one with the crossbow. Very good. I want to get this kill before he disappears into the wild. Now's not the time to miss. Damn, we're going to waste a lot of ammo trying to take him down, but there he goes. A hit there was a kill. May as well have this open. This is one of those fights where the numbers really matter. Good hit. And just like that, the front line kind of wants to crumble. And I mean, those are the types of plays that only using throwing weapons can give you. Right? We didn't have to move. We were able to put 2 attacks downfield. And imagine an entire front line with that type of versatility. What it does is it forces the enemy to go into difficult situations where the math is not on their side. It essentially gives you surrounds in a way that you didn't have otherwise. Reload and shoot. Alright, a big miss. So now we're going to super focus this crossbow. I was about to say, if he jumps in front, I would have been upset. It's a cheap crossbow, but I want it. About to say, you better not stun me again. 45%. And that's a whiff, so we're going to miss. Alright, we can lock him down. Oh, nice. We don't even have to land the hits. That's even better. If we could put a little bit of damage on them, it would make me feel good because they would, or this marksman here would have much less chance of escaping. But all in all, we handled this fight pretty well. I kind of overestimated how decent the thugs' gear would be. We were able to put them down pretty well. I will say our armor is very low quality, but our weapons actually are not bad. We're in like full tier 2 weapon mode. So against low armored enemies like these, we do okay. We do good. Well is the word I'm looking for as an English speaker, but as a Southern English speaker, good is the word I was going to use. Just pass, pass, pass. You know, I would like to get another bow if I can. But I wouldn't be mad if I didn't. These dudes also have daggers too, which would be alright pickups. for some of our brothers to have as backup weapons, especially in the back line. And I don't think we're going to catch that last marksman. So let's just get this kill. And be done with it, and maybe get our first crossbow. I know you can hit the button and do this, but I was curious. I passed over Kalki so fast I didn't even stop to see if maybe we might have a chance of catching him, but no. I don't think so. Come on, guys. Can we get there? If we can't get there this turn, yeah, we're done. It's over. We leveled up. We got 2 levels. Nice. Did we get the crossbow, though? I didn't notice. We didn't. Oh, man. That's pretty lame, but we did get 3 daggers. That's not nothing, I guess. And we got we got the quiver of bolts. For if we pick up a crossbow, we don't have to buy a quiver. That's kind of nice. While we're here, let's just go ahead and recheck out the marketplace. Maybe they have a crossbow for sale I didn't notice. No, they do not. There's some pretty cheap tools. Okay, price on food. What's their price for selling? The prices here to sell, I think, are great. So we're going to actually get rid of a lot of this stuff right now. Surcoat. Toss that. I really want to love the slings, but I just don't. Like, I understand their value, but I just... You can get real archery weapons so early on. Let's buy a quiver here. We do have brothers who could use secondary quivers. And instead of using the spears, let's use these daggers. There we go. Like having a backup shield as well. Should probably have multiples. So this is Lars' first level. Happy to see him get a nice 4 in range skill. That's awesome. We could take a 4 there. And 3 here would be great. He'll end up getting better rolls than this. And once again, this is another amazing hybrid character. We just got to get his HP over 71 and we can stop pumping that. This is Geralf. Or Geralf, depending on how you want to say it. Another decent hybrid. Poachers, man. Poachers kind of suck. Get him Colossus. Lower his chance of injuries. And then here on Wolfram, we can take Brawny or Shield Expert. He's hurt right now, so that's why his fatigue is so low. But let's just take Brawny. Pump that 4. Probably take a 3 and a 4 here. I think that's okay. If he's going to end up being a potential... We have 2 brothers right now who could potentially end up being sergeant type characters. Or one of them could be a bannerman and the other one could be a sergeant, or one could be a sergeant bannerman. There's all sorts of, permutations you could go through. They do have some cheap full Akaton caps, which are, how much? They're 50 armor. They're basically bear hats. We only have 1 person wearing a hood right now. I'm going to buy that, and I'm going to buy this because I feel like we're going to get another brother in the near future, and I just want to be able to instantly suit him up. If we picked up another brother right now, we could go boom. I mean, this is some decent gear to get him started. We don't have the gold right now to pick up another brother, but we will shortly. We're about to get 600 crowns. So if we wanted to pick up a cheap character, we could. Man, how many peasants did we kill in our last playthrough? just to give us some easy experience. Not much, honestly, but some experience. Just like that, we've got a little bit of money. Farmers are okay. What we would want to be doing is cycling out people just to get militiamen. Militia is probably the best background, along with deserters, perhaps, for sheer combat stats. But you can get lucky and get a good farmer. I mean, I've gone all the way to the end of the game with good farmers. You want us to deliver something, okay. To Sandfells, 2 days south. How far is that, really? All the way down here? No, we're not doing that. I might go over here to this place for the first time, which was this contract here. It's an escort mission, so we don't even have to, I mean, we don't have to do anything. They'll feed us, and hopefully our food won't go bad. Wouldn't even mind being attacked by, you know, something reasonable. Last time we got attacked by Unhold. While marching down the road, you find a man with a broken cart by the side of the path. By the wagon there is a donkey standing idle, and as defeated as a donkey can look. The trader looks a little better than that, and your appearance seems to have scared him. He rears up, backing away momentarily. Have you come to take my things? If so, you needn't kill me. Take what you want. Nah, we're fellow peasants, man. Let's help him. And we get some bread, tools, medical supplies. We disarm the man of his fears, and we help him get his wagon back on the road. Very cool. Now they're well supplied. We make a few crowns. Let's see what's up. So they have a contract. They also have terrified villagers. And a taxidermist. Nothing else, though. Pretty lame place. They have a warfork. They have a really cheap hunting bow. Ooh, that would be nice. That could be a good pickup. Let's see what this contract is. There are ghosts. Wolfgang the Burgermeister settles down into his chair, laughing to himself as he does it. Don't be alarmed, sellsword, but they say ghosts are afoot. Yes, yes, the local peasants are poisoning my mornings with constant talk of ghosts and goblins. They say that these supposed creatures are turning the cemetery upside down, raiding the graves to enlarge their army or some such nonsense. Obviously, it's just the work of some spade-wielding men intent on robbing graves for jewelry. I've seen it before. He looks down at his hands, briefly chuckling. Anyway, I can't just let it rest because these peasants won't get off my back about it. So to ease them, there's you. I need you to go to the cemetery and clear out any troublemakers you find. Alright. It could very easily be, Zombonis. We've dealt with that before. Another poacher. Guys, man, I really wanted to get some diverse backgrounds, and I feel like our entire backline is just going to be all poachers, which is okay. We've got 4 of them currently. 5 is not overkill by any means. Let's hire him. We're accelerating. What is this? He's a weasel. He gets extra melee defense when retreating. That's a new one for me. This character is swift as a weasel. Unfortunately, he seems to only be able to call on this ability when running to save his life. Yeah, his resolve is really bad, but for whatever reason, he has 2 stars in it. I don't know why. He comes with decent HP, which is strange. And his melee and range skills are okay. He's not a bad character, honestly. A few pumps in resolve, and he's good to go. Yeah, let's hook him up. We'll give him a dagger. Give him some slightly better gear. And just like that, we just added another potential crossbowman hybrid bro to our ranks. From this point on, though, we would... I think I would honestly want one more. I think 6 is the magic number here. I get so much value from my DPS... from the DPS that is generated by my ranged brothers in my playthroughs. I mean, they just get the kills, you know. And he's crummy now, but give him time. You start getting abilities like, man, what's it called? Start getting stuff like fast adaptation. That can really fill the gaps on low range skill brothers, especially on archers when you're taking multiple attacks a turn, especially once you have Berserk also. But you'll be able to, if you miss, you'll take another attack with slightly better odds of hitting. This is one of the good ways to help bad archers. Something to think about. It's pretty much a must-have on these archers, I think. So a man lingers deep in the rows of tombstones. He seems to be wavering, as though ready to pass out. One of the men comes to your side and shakes his head. That's no man, sir. There's undead afoot. Just as he finishes talking, the stranger in the distance slowly turns, and there in the light reveals he's missing half his face. And we're fighting them in the forest, which could favor us. I mean, depends on the layout. And there's 16 of them. I see a Scramasax there. There are some dangerous ones here. Hear that scary as hell undead music. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to make a concave here. There's a boulder. That's hard to see. You know what? We're not. We're not going to do that. We're not going to make a concave. If this was too wide, I would make like a ring around this. This fight will take forever if I do that, though. So instead, we're going to make a flank here, right? We can move up a little bit so that they are indeed funneled into a kill box. But the kill box itself, we don't want it to be right at the opening. We want to give them a chance to step out a little. And we'll see which ones go around and what we're fighting. I mean, if there's no necromancer here, this fight becomes much, much easier. There doesn't appear to be a necromancer. Step in there. We'll probably put over here. Let's not block each other in. Get our archers on the front. Those that can switch to pole arms, we definitely want to do that. We just need to get quick hands on our back line. So yeah, I mean, we have a straight up, defensive line here where a lot of brothers can put hits on the same enemy. Let's see what they do. Happy that there are no Geists as well. That's a pretty difficult creature to counter. Before you have a banner and a sergeant and all that type of thing. Okay, so these two up here, of course, don't have pole arms. I'm just struggling to remember which ones have the war forks and which ones don't. I don't think we're going to want to use too much of our throwing weapons, because I don't think we need it to beat what's coming. Come on, guys, funnel through. Undead fights in the forest can be miserable. If you're not willing to go to them and risk, the dangers that entails, especially in the late game when they have, fallen heroes that hang back and tons of Geists. Like, you can't really just run headlong into the woods. You have to play it safe. But it can take forever. We should underestimate them. I mean, there's a hand axe here. We've seen Scramasax. There are weapons on the field that can hurt us. And that's why we're using this kind of very defensive strategy. And I like it a lot. I think our positioning is great. Even our two brothers who are somewhat isolated out on the flanks, Um, they are on the high ground. So, I mean, their position is really strong against anyone who would try to come around the side. This is the type of position I would happily take, later in the game against even, much more advanced and more powerful enemies. But the idea is, I mean, once we put down the more heavily armored Wiedegangers, these 4 guys up here, and it looks like they're trying to circumnavigate us a bit. Yeah, they are. Yeah, man, I really don't want to use ammo. We just don't need it. Our front line here with the weapons that they have. From the high ground, Lyria and Wolfram shouldn't miss too much, I say. Alright, that's enough of that. We don't need to throw. I really don't want these 3 to go up and around, though. We worked hard to make this kind of defensive spot, and I feel like they're just going to go completely around. If we kill the ones in the front, though, maybe it'll make them feel, the AI feel like this area is clear. Man, we should have gone for the decapitation, too. Which is worth saying. With zombies, they move so slowly, and any type of terrain can cause them difficulty. The best scenario is usually what you want to do is clear them out in front of you. Make them space. Make space for them to jump in. Because when they jump in, they can't attack you. So give them that room. Because the AI kind of messes up moving them in sometimes. Alright, Lyria. Okay. You've missed 3 out of 4, but you landed the one that mattered. Which I can live with. So some of the armored boys are getting in now. We would love to get some of these busted up male shirts. I would happily take them. Even the coifs would be probably upgrades over some of the junk we're rocking right now. These helmets for sure. If I could get these kills without destroying most of their gear, I would really like to do that. Decapitation. That might have allowed us to keep that helmet intact. And I think at this point we realize there's really not much in front of us. We can make a little space here. Fully expecting some of them to come back. Let's move up here. Yeah, Bert can solo some shirt-wearing zombies. Just hold Werner. Get Lars out here. Try and get him a bit of an angle. Yeah, we messed up that guy's helmet, which we would have taken. Man, when you swing with that, the sound effect of hearing the air go by as you swing. Super cool. We can start moving down a little bit. Still, honestly, would expect some of these to come back. But the real fight is up here now. Just do our best and land as many attacks as we can. But I say, wouldn't be surprised to see him come back. wonder if they ever considered adding in some sort of zombie bite mechanic. Like where you could potentially get an infection or something like that. I think that would be pretty flavorful. I don't know if I want people turning into zombies, that type of thing, because that could be obnoxious. But maybe it could give you some sort of like necrotic illness, and that would make, maybe you could only get rid of it by going to a temple, something like that. Just a way to make, buildings like temples more important is kind of what I'm thinking. Give them an added function. These games become more fun the more challenges you give us. The more things you have to micromanage and deal with. Especially once you're already experienced. And we're coming off the high ground here. But we're also getting a pretty decent little surround. Damn. Happy to hit, but the kill would have been better. I don't want to get hit by either one of these weapons. Thankfully we didn't. Good. Man, we hit him in the head, seriously? We hit him in the head and then we missed. Like the worst combination of things that could have happened. Because I don't necessarily need his gear or anything, but it would be nice to get it. And the way we have to batter armor down, the odds of us getting some of these mail shirts are pretty low. Alright, well, we hit him in the head again. 3 to go. Can I see 3? Yes, okay. 1, 2, 3, got it. Hopefully he engages with Burke. Makes it easy for us so we can just take him down. Been seeing like more and more previews for Walking Dead again, which is a show that I loved in the beginning. The first couple seasons of Walking Dead are amazing, and I would highly recommend it, but I haven't watched like the last season and a half. It totally lost my interest. I think it had a lot to do, I can't remember like the specifics of it. It's been a while since I really thought about it, but the budget of the show is so noticeably lower. For the show that was probably dominating all of television for the longest time, for them to cut its budget at like the height of its popularity is insane. It's kind of like what they did with Game of Thrones, I guess. I don't know how much the final season cost, but in the end, they definitely cheaped out. It's like you had a chance to go down in history as one of the greatest shows of all time. And it will, I think, still do that. But it's hard to recover from a bad ending. Like, you can pick up a show with a bad start. I mean, how many times have you guys heard, a buddy describe a show to you and they're like, well, the first season's a little boring, but, make it past that. And the second season, the third season, whatever, are great. So you can recover from like a false start or a fumbling start. But a bad ending? Like, you tell someone, Game of Thrones is like the best show ever made, it's amazing, but the last 2 seasons kind of suck. And they're like, well, like, I'm not going to invest, 100 hours of my life watching a TV show when I already know that, it's widely believed to suck. Like, no one's going to do that. So that's kind of like where I'm at with Walking Dead. Like, I want to recommend you guys the show, for those of you who haven't seen it. But it's hard for me to give it a full-hearted recommendation just because of where it ended up. And I don't know, maybe I'm a bit of like a snob when it comes to some TV shows. I've watched a lot of TV in my life. I try to be a little bit pickier now with what I choose to watch, as I value my time a little bit more as I get busier and busier and older and older. But you could basically watch the first few seasons of Walking Dead as its own thing. Like you really don't need to go beyond that. And I bring up the whole like budget issue just because I saw in one of the previews they finally got around to doing something that I've been saying they should have done since the beginning, and that's pretty much just the tactical nerd in me. I'm like, get shields, tower shields and spears, make spike walls. Like zombies like just physically can't deal with certain obstacles. I don't care how scary they are, right? There are times when you can literally just reinforce a particular area and there's nothing a zombie can do, or 1,000 zombies. It's not possible. And just now in the previews, they're on like season 8 or 9 or who even knows at this point, and they just now have made like shields. But the problem, like the production value, and the reason I brought it up is because you can see even from the brief, fast flashing shots from the commercials that the like I don't know what the exact term for that is, but the cosmetic of the shields, the whoever like made them, obviously they did a good job at what they do. I don't want to take away from that because I don't think I could do better. But the shields look like something that a cosplayer made. They don't look real. They don't look like anything people in a zombie apocalypse would make. It looks like someone with a spray gun and access to random spikes and stuff laying around a workshop could throw together. Like it's bad. It's really obvious. This one zombie is holding up our entire force right now. Guys, I don't want to do this anymore. Please. Thank you. All right. And after all of that, all we got was one helmet. Probably that helmet that we cut off of that guy. It's a good one. It's a padded nasal helmet. We picked up some short swords we don't really need. Those were falchions. We think about rotating them into the front line because they are swords, so they have better chances to hit. Hatterbrand is going to be a good bro for switching it up. Let's get that 4 there because we're going to take Colossus, and that should put him well over the 71 hit point marker. But guys, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks for joining me. Sorry that last fight, even for me, that was a little bit boring. And we ultimately didn't get anything. Like, that gear was just garbage. Let's give that to Sigurd here. Switch that up there. Here's a eye patch. Looking like a boss. I was hoping there'd be an enemy here that we could chase down. Maybe at the beginning of the next episode. Or even something I could do off camera just to further... Man, they're really traveling. 10 barbarians? Sure. I might do this off camera, guys. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Once again, my name is Brett. My channel is Goodtalk Gaming. I hope you're enjoying the series. What I would like for you guys to do, if you don't mind, if you would like to take a second, put in the comment section down below what your vote would be for the next company origins that we start on. And I would really appreciate that. A little bit of direction helps me out a lot. So with that, I'm going to leave you with a knock-knock joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Howard. Howard who? Howard, you like a big hug. And they have a cute little picture of a penguin that sadly you can't see, and you'll never get to experience that joy. But anyway, y'all, my daughter was asking me if I've been doing the knock-knock jokes, and I realized that I've been forgetting because the book was like far away from me. And but now I have it. It's back in my hands. Anyway, y'all, take care, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Later, guys.